If you ask someone who's never watched Hazbin Hotel to name one character from the show, some would probably say Charlie, or Angel Dust, or maybe even Vox. But most would probably name one character, Alastor. He's not the main character of the show, but nonetheless, he's stolen the spotlight and our interest. So, today, I'm going to be explaining his lore while I'm drawing him. Two quick disclaimers: there are spoilers for Hazbin Hotel Season 2 in this video, so if you want to avoid those, please skip this one. Secondly, I'm only going to be covering his canon lore. I love the theories we see about him in fan-made songs like Upside Down and Daisies, and maybe I'll make a video talking about those, but this one is solely about his canon lore in chronological order. So to start off, let's talk about Alastor's life as a human. According to the official Hazbin Hotel wiki, Alastor was born at around the turn of the 20th century in New Orleans, Louisiana. He was an only child in a mixed-race Creole family. He quickly hustled his way through difficulties and became the host of his very own successful radio show. He was said to be very charming and often seen at parties with his friend Mimsy, who was a singer. We don't know exactly when, but at some point during this time, Alastor became a serial killer in secret. He lived in a small cottage by a bayou, which was the perfect place for him to stash the bodies, as well as voodoo paraphernalia. In 1933, he had his first successful ritual, summoning a spirit named Rosie. He told her he knew a soul like his was going to end up in hell, and said he wanted to be the most powerful sinner when he got there. Rosie was very intrigued by Alastor, and agreed to grant him that on one condition: his soul would be hers until he completed a task for her. Ironically, the next day, while hiding a body, Alastor was mistaken for a deer and shot, dying instantly. This leads to his early days in hell. We don't know much about Alastor's early life in hell, but it is said he was initially seen as just another sinner and ignored. Sometime later, he showed his true raw power and toppled overlords that had been dominant for centuries, and then broadcasted the carnage for all of hell to hear. This quickly got him the nickname the Radio Demon. At some point in the 50s, he established a friendly relationship with a TV demon called Vincent, or as we know him today, Vox. Vox had an unreciprocated crush on Alastor and made him an offer to become partners with him, to rule hell together as radio and video. Alastor laughed in his face at the mere idea, saying there are no friends in hell. This sparked a bitter rivalry between the two. 7 years prior to the beginning of the series, Alastor and Vox fought. It's unknown who won since both claimed to be the victor. After this, Alastor suddenly disappeared under the order of the spirit from earlier, Rosie. We first see him in the Hazbin Hotel pilot, where he appears in the hotel after his 7-year absence. He stays, saying that it's solely for his own entertainment and that the idea of redemption is silly nonsense. We see him throughout the season 1 of Hazbin Hotel quite a bit, and I'm summarizing here. He seemingly helps Charlie and her hotel, reignites his rivalry with Vox and stayed gone, meets with the other overlords, starts beef with Lucifer, introduces Charlie to Rosie, and even fights and is defeated by Adam. It was in that fight that his staff was broken, which leads us to Season 2. In Season 2, he tries to get Rosie to fix his staff, but she declines and sings Don't You Forget, and forbids him from leaving the hotel. He leaves Rosie's place and challenges Vox to a rematch, which Alastor loses on purpose. He makes a deal with Vox. He says he'll be his prisoner if Vox agrees to let Husk and Nifty go and not to lay hands on Charlie, Morningstar. Vox joyfully and immediately agrees and parades Alastor around as his prisoner. We don't see much of Alastor for the next few episodes, but when we do, it's clear he's rage-baiting Vox and turning Velvet and Valentino on him. In the finale, Alastor makes Charlie say Vox is the most powerful demon in hell. This immediately sets Alastor free from his deal with Rosie, but he still has his deal with Vox. Vox joyfully touches Charlie's shoulder, which sets Vox free from that deal. The two fight all over hell, and eventually Vox calls his pet shark, Shockwave, to finish the fight for him. After this, we see him make a deal with Rosie to help Charlie Morningstar destroy Vox's weapon called the Might of Lilith, in exchange for his staff being fixed. The last we see of him is that he's back at the hotel, still beefing with Lucifer. And that right there is most of the canon lore we know about Alastor. Like I said, I'm not going to get into his fanon lore, as interesting as it is and as much as I love it, otherwise this video would be a lot longer. I like to say that nothing in this video was made by AI. I voiced this over myself, I wrote out the script for it, and I'm making the art myself. So please don't go saying that this is AI. I promise I didn't use that in any way whatsoever. I really hope you enjoyed the video. This is my first time really doing an in-depth video where I've actually made a script for it, so I hope I did okay. If I left anything out, feel free to comment about it. I would love to see your guys' theories on Alastor and, you know, stuff I left out so I can do better the next time. Tell me which character you'd like to see me do this for, you know, draw and then talk about the lore. It's going to have to be a character who actually has some lore to them. So, for example, I couldn't really do a character like Nifty because she just doesn't have a lot of lore yet. But if it's a character that has lore, I'd really love to make a video about them. And with all that said, again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day, and see you next time.